Ah, you're finally back. What took you so long? I was starting to worry.
Oh, yeah, we ran into some small problems, but everything's fine now.
All right. As long as everything's okay now. You all have a seat. I'll get the food ready. It won't take long.
Whoa, there's so much tasty food! You're amazing, Tlasoli!
They were all pretty simple dishes to make. Don't be shy. Dig in, everyone.
Paimon will help herself. Paimon will have some of this, and this. Oh, and this!
Ooh, yeah. Can I get another serving, please?
You're done already? Do you even chew when you're eating?
Of course! Didn't I say that I chew up the fish bones? I'll have just one more fish and leave the rest for Nechka.
It's okay. Just go ahead and eat all you'd like. Nechka can't eat these dishes anyway. Her body is too weak to digest these kinds of things. I'll just make some broth for her.
Oh no, but Paimon thought she'd already recovered from her illness.
Injuries caused by the abyss cannot be undone. The doctor said the fact that she's stable is already quite a miracle. But it's okay. Nechka can talk to me now and can even hold my hand. That's more than I could ask for. Even if she will never again know that I am her mother.
What do you mean?
The doctor said the abyss has had an irreversible effect on Nechka's soul. She's lost all her memories from before she was injured. The doctor also said this sort of memory loss isn't like simply forgetting something. Rather, she can no longer remember anything from before that fateful day.
Huh? But how does that happen?
You know about the woven scrolls that the Masters of the Nightwind use to record things, right? Well, generally speaking, forgetting things is like when the woven scrolls would gradually start to fade. As long as you repaint and weave the threads again, the faded memories will come back to life. But the case of Nechka's memory loss is as if her woven scroll had been cut in two, and the portion of the past was burnt to ashes. The books she loved to read, the flowers she took joy to grow, and the time she spent in this house were all cut off by the abyss, and can never be retrieved again. As one example of that, Nechka now only sees me as a strange, unfamiliar auntie who claims to be her mother. She's a good kid, and doesn't want to upset this lady who's been taking care of her so much, so she still calls me Mom. But I've always had a feeling that she's constantly wondering about things like, where is her real mother? Why is she stuck here in this house? Was she abandoned? Nechka really has no idea that her real mother is right in front of her, and has never left.
So you plan on recreating Nechka's woven scroll all by yourself?
What do you mean?
Or should I say, you've already started reweaving that scroll long ago. The delivery guys. I saw it hanging from his waist, so I asked to borrow it from him. Don't worry, I'll return the inscription to him once we've figured everything out. These things aren't cheap, after all.
When did you know?
Yeah, I noticed it back when Blaze Gem inscriptions suddenly became popular among the tribe. It was then that I also noticed that everyone wearing Blaze Gem inscriptions had varying degrees of memory loss. Traveler, you've picked up on it too, haven't you? Accessories made using ancient names forging techniques. For what's only supposed to be a pretty souvenir, this inscription contains a phlogiston engraving with a truly overkill level of complexity. The shapes and patterns of these engravings are also identical to that of an ancient name. by making just a few slight adjustments to the layout and connections of the main pattern, you can pretty much qualify this blaze gem inscription as a bona fide ancient name. And yet, you've never told anyone about these engravings in the blaze gem inscriptions that can be activated at any time. Am I right, Auntie?
I knew you were a sharp one, Shilonin. That's right. I have a way to cure Nachka and restore all her memories. It's actually quite simple. I want to forge an ancient name for Nachka that contains all of her past memories.
And the reason they must be approved by the Wyab is because the memories they bear are all stored within the ley lines. Extracting those memories from the ley lines requires the Wyab's assistance. But your plan wouldn't need you to do any of that, right, Auntie? Your blaze gem inscriptions will help you complete that part of your plan in the ley line's place. You will use the inscriptions to form a massive memory bank for Nachka. And the ancient names you're trying to forge will be used to extract corresponding memories from the memory bank.
A memory bank? Wait, so the reason all those people were having trouble remembering stuff is because the blaze gem inscriptions took away any memories related to Nachka?
Using other people's memories of Nachka to reconstruct her past? This is the first time I've heard of such an idea.
You've seen through my plans, Shilonin. You're as outstanding as ever. Far more brilliant than me. I intend to use this method to collate all the memories related to Nachka and allow her to regain her past again.
But wouldn't extracting memories like that hurt the person carrying the blaze gem inscription?
Not at all. Every time a blaze gem inscription extracts memories, the process is under my precise control. That way, there's no chance of anyone in the tribe getting hurt. This is the central inscription that controls all the other blaze gem inscriptions, which will also soon serve as Nachka's ancient name.
You made all of this yourself, Tlasoli?
Yes, it was lots and lots of work. It was truly exhausting. Or perhaps I've just grown old. You saw it yourself. I nearly fainted just from being in the sun. I could collapse tomorrow, or even in the next few moments, but Nachka's ancient name is still far from completion. I've solved the issue of storing memories, but I still don't know how to connect Nachka up to this central inscription.
I've thought you just modify your own ancient name.
I considered it, but this matter doesn't have anything to do with my ancient name. It's of no help to me, and I don't need its help now.
You know the price to pay for making something like this.
Yes, I do. But as long as I can get my Nachka back, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Otherwise, Nachka won't have any chance of reclaiming her past once I'm dead and gone. She won't remember me, and she won't even remember why her name is Nachka. When that time comes, she will be left to drift around the world all alone, unknowing of where she came from or where she should go. She is my daughter, the one to whom I gave the Nachka name. Whether it be as her mother or as a name engraver, I can't simply stand by and let her name disappear.
Shilonin!
I'll take the central inscription with me. I'm going to completely disassemble it to confirm its components and uses, and I won't make any promises until I've checked everything. Say goodnight to Nachka for me, Auntie.
Oh, wait. I've also finished the inscriptions for the Traveler in Paimon. Let me fetch them for you. I'm sorry it took me so long to finish them.
Hold on, Auntie. The Traveler and Paimon have never met Nechka before, so you can't draw any memories from them.
That wasn't my intention. They're just ordinary gifts. Please, take them.
Huh? What was that noise?
Nechka must have woken up and wants to get out of bed on her own. Sorry, I'll go check on her first. Nechka, don't try to get out of bed. Just tell Mom if you need anything.
You go ahead and take care of Nechka, Auntie. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon. There are a few things I want to tell you. Let's head back to the tribe first. There are some things I need to get from my workshop. Disassembling the central inscription? It's not going to be easy.
You really are a one-trick pony, you know.
You two can wait outside for a moment. I just need to go in and grab something. The workshop is a little messy, so unfortunately, I won't be able to show you around. Oh, yeah, that's not really what I mean. It's not the mess that's really the problem. It's just that the workshop is cluttered with way too much stuff. Books, files, and even ancient texts I got from the Masters of the Nightwind. Everything's piled up to the ceiling. You probably won't know where to step once you're inside. Kachina suffered quite an unfortunate series of events the last time she went inside. Well, I suppose it was my fault for being so focused on searching for information at the time that I forgot to lock the door. After entering the workshop, she was shocked to find herself face to face with a massive woven scroll from the Masters of the Nightwind, and then she turned around and knocked over a huge stack of forging blueprints. She tried to step out of the way, but tripped on a poster tube that was behind her, and then boom! The forging blueprints came crashing down right onto her head.
Oh no!
She's lucky I noticed in time. I found Kachina in a daze and managed to save her before an entire set of the history of the Children of Echoes was about to bury her. I then dragged her up to the second floor. Ever since then, Kachina always waits outside the door and doesn't dare take a step in whenever she comes to see me.
Yeah, you're an artisan and craftswoman after all. We thought there would be weapons and armor hanging all over the place. But it seems more like a library than a workshop.
Well, my primary work is forging ancient names, which is much trickier than making swords and tools. Aside from the necessary craftsmanship, I also need to consult many ancient texts. You probably already know that each ancient name represents a certain spirit, behind which are countless related stories to support it. In other words, the essence of an ancient name is the physical manifestation of a certain spiritual will. And as a name engraver, when I'm working on a new ancient name, I'm not only trying to give it a physical shape, but more importantly, I'm also trying to understand the spirit contained within the name. And to do that, I have to collect as many related stories as possible and read through them all. But, as you might know, people tend to add a lot of extraneous details when it comes to stories about themselves. For stories that have been clearly exaggerated or altered, I must gather other related stories and information as cross-references. This way, I can filter out all the absurd and exaggerated details and restore the person's life to its true nature. Only in true stories can you find the authentic spirit. and this is the only way for the spirit to become an ancient name that matches its essence.
We've heard about the concept behind ancient names before, but after hearing you explain the details, Paimon can't help but think that ancient names are really powerful.
Well, no matter how powerful ancient names could be, they would never be able to suddenly turn into a blade or allow you to smash through an entire cliff in one punch. It's just a form of spiritual power that's passed down from generation to generation. It doesn't have those kinds of physically tangible effects. Well, take your own names, for example. From the moment you appeared in this world, some person had already prepared a blessing for you. And that person then condensed this blessing into your name and gave it to you as a gift. It may feel like the moment you received your name is already in the past, but it will always stay with you and move with you in the future. Names are blessings for the future from people standing in the past. Well, that's what Auntie once told me. And with this blessing, people will become more confident as they walk into their future. To put it another way, it's like having a lamp in your hand as you walk through the darkness of night.
Oh, Paimon gets that. If you're alone when you're walking in the dark, it's easy to get scared and tired quickly. But if someone else is walking with you, then it won't be nearly as scary. And, well, you might still get tired, but it'll still be a whole lot better than walking alone. The Traveler always has Paimon by her side, though, so she'll never have to worry about that. Oh, Paimon sure many wish they could be in your shoes, Traveler. Paimon's always flying, of course it gets tiring. But we're getting off topic. We can talk about that later.
Anyway, this is what Clisoli told me when I was training as a name engraver. And to be honest, I've only understood 20% of what she said at most. I've never been able to figure out the rest.
But doesn't that mean you basically don't get it?
Well, that's not entirely true. Auntie and I have at least come to a consensus on the most important thing. You know what? I am sick of talking. We can talk about all of this later. Please, wait a moment while I grab my things.
Did you hear a whole section of something collapse in there just now?
It's fine, it's fine. It was just a bunch of very old ancient name records. I've already made copies of them. I kept this set of phlogiston wedges in the back, so it wasn't easy to take out. I had to resort to brute force. Come on, let's go disassemble the central inscription. It shouldn't take long.